we as a society have somewhere gone just in the complete wrong direction. I hate to sound like an old timer, but what's wrong with you whippersnappers? Oh, a beautiful brunette's obsessed with you. That's a horror movie nowadays. To me, I'm like, this guy's living the dream, and it's unbelievable we're labeling this as a horror.
Hey, welcome back to the Popcast. We got another exciting episode. This is actually episode number 49, if you can believe that. That means the next episode is going to be
Number 50.
Number 50, which is a huge milestone. I hear that's where you start making millions. When you hit episode 50.
That could be 50. A monumental episode.
That could be a monumental. Well, actually, you know what that's going to be.
Would be Disclosure Day, right?
Are we going to back rooms next week?
We can't waste 50 on back rooms.
Would that be a waste? I think we stumbled across a gem tonight. Back rooms could be a gem.
We'll have to decide in the moment.
We'll have to decide in the moment, the heat of the moment. So we're coming back to you from the secret underground nerd base layer deep under the city of Sandusky with the Popcast loosely based on the actual real life vintage soda and candy store in downtown Sandusky. And we got a lot of little tidbits tonight. Yeah, we got several tidbits. One of our top viewers, one of our top commenters, viewers, and friends of the show, Tim Schnurr, was his birthday this week.
What do you know?
Happy birthday, Tim. I hope you have a good one. And then shout out to this dude that came into the shop this week. He said, "Hey man, I watch your podcast." I was like, "All right." He was a dude.
A dude.
Yeah, well, he was a dude. He had long hair. I mean, he was a dude.
Dude.
Yeah. So thanks for watching. And if you are watching right now, like, subscribe, share. What else? That's it, right? Like, subscribe, share.
Oh, leave a comment.
Leave a comment. Yeah, always leave a comment. See, we read the comments and we acknowledge what's going on out there.
Acknowledge, yeah.
So like, subscribe, and share before you chop this off. But I think you're going to like this show. I think you're going to like what we have to say about the movie Obsessed.
Obsession.
And I guess there was an earlier Obsession movie, because when I was, looking up different things, there's an Obsession from 2009 that was coming up first, but I think this will soon be coming up first in the searches. Because I really enjoyed this movie.
This was a good one.
This was a good one.
This was a good one.
And so, all right, what do we got for comics today? Oh, speaking of comics.
Oh.
This weekend
is Comic Palooza.
Comic Palooza, yes. You've heard us talk about it frequently on this show. If you are in the Amherst area, you need to go to Comic Palooza. Look it up on Facebook. There's several Comic Paloozas, but this is the legit Comic Palooza. And you just look for the one that's South Amherst. It'll have the day. It's this weekend, whatever the numbers of the days this weekend is, Saturday and Sunday. You won't be disappointed if you are a comics fan.
No, it's absurd.
It is absurd. And hopefully it still will be absurd. Because I don't know how it can, we went there, this will be our fourth time or third time?
Fourth, because they do it twice a year.
They do it twice a year, once in the fall and once in the spring right now. And I think, we went both times last year and then one time the previous year, and we've been there every time since. And they keep having more comics somehow.
It is unbelievable.
Somehow.
It is strange.
So maybe we'll do another Best of Comic Palooza show.
Yeah.
That was a good episode. Our best picks from the Comic Palooza.
Maybe that will be 50.
Maybe that could be 50.
We don't know.
Maybe we could combine that with the Backrooms review.
But maybe that would come out 2 weeks late.
What will?
That. Because Disclosure Day would be 50 with Jim and Runkle.
Oh, are they down for that? Maybe
they want to see Disclosure Day, right?
Oh, who doesn't want to see Disclosure Day?
Who doesn't even want to see it?
I mean, that might be the last day on planet Earth anyway. That might be the actual disclosure, and then the next day they're just going to be like, yeah, that's a true movie.
Yeah,
and then,
fingers crossed that's what happens.
And then people just start losing their minds, and who knows what happens.
That's what happens at this point.
Yeah, I need to shake things up a little bit.
Yeah, we're at the end of the road.
Here. I've been doing this for 57 years. It's just kind of the same thing, day after day.
Yeah, let's start something. Yeah, this is the second week in a row we're getting to that point.
Let's mix it up a little bit. Get some aliens here, some hybrid alien people. And some gangs just looting places, a little chaos. Mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, let's have some fun.
Let's have some fun with it. I mean, you only go around once.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's like a 5-year thing.
5-year thing, and then we settle it back down.
We did COVID for like a year, okay?
Yeah.
That wasn't fun.
That was not fun. That was stupid. Let's not even go into it. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, let's do something different for it. If we did that stupid thing for a year.
Yeah, let's give aliens a shot. Let's give an alien war.
Yeah, come on.
Let's give it a shot.
Weed out some people. See who's who and what's what. Yeah, I'm down for it. So maybe that will happen. That would then be our last episode, probably.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. Maybe we would go like underground, and we would be really in an underground bunker.
And we'd be the last surviving news source.
We would be like Fox, the last truth teller from your book. Is that what his name is?
Yeah, the last truth speaker.
The last truth speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So very good. He always has comments at the beginning of the chapter, like this guy's radio station. Is that guy underground, or he's mainstream in there, right?
What he does is he pays people to go on their station if he does an ad for them. Like the cigarette companies will let him go on air.
Oh, okay.
In one of the lower stations that don't matter, but he has to promote their cigarettes.
Well, obviously.
Throughout the show. But then he sneaks,
Flying Aces, is that what it is?
Yeah. Then he sneaks his own broadcast in. He taps it in so it comes throughout the radio every once in a while.
So he is sort of underground.
Yeah, he's a loose king.
He's the last truth teller.
Yeah.
Does he have some books too? I feel like he has books.
No, he's like absurd.
He's just
crazy. Not
really
really
he's
though.
Crazy. Yeah,
not really though.
He's
like Fox Mulder. That's what obviously is going on there. Yeah.
In this alternate universe.
Yeah, but he's the last radio guy. Obviously, all the characters hear him throughout when they turn on the radio. Yeah, they all hear him.
There's sort of a tie that ties the characters all together. So that book will be coming out soon to a bookstore near you. You want to get it. It's a good one. All right, anyway, so we got diverted from comics. Comic Palooza. Make sure you head out there. You know what else is open? Is open now is the Tiffin Drive-In through theater. I don't know if you remember that guy.
That guy was here.
Yeah, that guy was here. I wonder if he's going to have that Godzilla Fest or whatever. The Kaiju Fest.
It's Godzilla Fest.
Yeah, he should. You should probably go to it this year. We should do. We should figure out about doing like some live broadcasts. He would let us come out there and do a live broadcast.
You know what I was thinking about? We should change this whole thing up here. Here's a
this might be a live brainstorming session.
I was thinking about this. No one just films right outside the movie theater. Not even us. We come home. But you don't get...
Would we sit in our car?
You would open up the trunk, sit on the back of the trunk, and you would call it the trunk. The trunk pod, trunk TV.
It's trunk. Popcast.
That's what I'm saying, we're changing the whole thing.
We're changing the whole thing.
But you would go to the movie at like 6 o'clock, or even earlier, maybe a 5 o'clock showing. So when you came out, the sky was that setting sky of like oranges and purples, and the stars are just igniting in the background.
Igniting.
And that would be your aesthetic. You're literally out in the movie theater parking lot, filming the episode real
Dude,
fresh.
you could just literally just set up a table.
That's what
It's got to be in
Don't
the car.
do that.
Well, how would you do it then?
Don't do too much.
But if we're sitting on the back...
right there, we're sitting on the trunk.
But if we're sitting on the trunk, the camera is shooting back into the trunk, so you're not going to see the sky.
You put it back, look what we got. You see all this? You put it back far enough, trust me, it could be done. And then...
Oh, so you're saying it's a wide shot.
It's not wide, it's probably like this close, but yeah, the trunk...
But the car is going to take up the whole shot then.
Well, maybe you figure it out.
All right, so we can figure it out. I see what you're saying, but I'm saying...
That's the extent, because who hasn't come out of the movie theater after watching a great movie? Or a bad one? You stand in front of somebody's car, you're talking there for 3 hours.
You're absolutely... Oh, yeah.
And you're dancing around because you got to pee. There it is. That's raw and real. Winter? You tough it out. You put on your little mittens. You tough it out. You got to keep the aesthetic.
I tell you say that, and I can. and I think I brought this up one time, and if we have Runkle on for Disclosure Day, he will tell you, coming out of the theater from Godzilla, the stupid one, what year was that?
1998.
Godzilla 1998. Me, Runkle, and Frost. We were, and it was like midnight or something. We stood there in disbelief, talking through our emotions of how stupid that movie was, in disbelief, for a good hour. And we were the last people in the parking lot. It's exactly what you're saying. I can remember that more so than any other movie coming out and talking.
Exactly.
It was such a horrible debacle. What? You know, how do you screw up Godzilla that bad? And they had the coolest marketing. They had like this giant footprint. And you're like, oh, sweet. Like that was the only thing you saw. Obviously, they never showed Godzilla. That would have... They would have tanked their movie right. Yeah, they at least knew not to do that. Huh. You might be onto something there.
Oh, I'm onto something. Trunk TV, something like that.
We just have to change the whole thing. Can we continue it with our episode numbers?
It's like a comic book reboot. You know, every once in a while they go back to number one.
Yeah.
But then they have the legacy numbers.
Right.
Just throwing it out there, man.
Hey, let us know what you think. Do you enjoy the underground studio, or should we go on a live? Would it be live then? It would have to be live. We could do Facebook Live.
You don't do it. It doesn't matter if it's live. It's so real.
I mean, if we're going to be outside the movie theater, I think people are going to want to see live.
It is live.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to be like, I'm going to watch at 9 o'clock at night when these guys get done coming out of the movie theater.
Maybe.
Well, what let us know in the comments what you think of this idea.
We're mulling it over.
Yeah, we're just mulling over, so we've gotten far off track. We once again are going to go back. Comic books!
This is Marvel Zombies number 1.
Marvel Zombies number 1.
Robert Kirkman did this, who did The Walking Dead as well.
Oh, really? Is that where they got that whole thing was?
I don't think.
Did you ever read any of those?
The Walking Dead?
No, the Marvel comic Zombies.
Yeah, I read.
Really?
Online. I have these physical copies, though.
Yeah, I just got that in a random box of comics somewhere. But, obviously with the horror movie that we just witnessed,
yeah,
that's what we're shooting for here.
Yeah, little zombie stuff is awesome.
Marvel Zombies is,
it's pretty recognizable.
Marvel's awesome and zombies are awesome. So that's like awesome squared.
Yeah, good job. Good idea.
Good idea. And then we got The Unknown Soldier. I don't know if it's quite horror. It's unknown what genre this is.
The Unknown Soldier.
The Unknown Soldier. Back when war comics were a thing, and they just went, hey, let's have this guy, Unknown Soldier. He's got his face all bandaged up. You can't see him. I wonder if they ever... This is issue number 245. So that was going on. That was going on for a while.
That's crazy.
What comic did you just get? Frankenstein Nazi?
Oh, The Invaders.
We're not allowed to probably say that word, so beat around that word.
The Invaders, but it's The Invaders meet Frankenstein. The Invaders are Captain America's World War II team, so it's like Captain America,
Namor. Because that's horror, Frankenstein.
Oh, yeah. We'll show it one time.
We'll bring it out because it's worth the look.
Human Torch. Yeah, and then it's Frankenstein in German... what do you call it?
With the full paraphernalia.
A German extremist.
Yeah. German extremist, yes.
Of World War II. Full on socking Captain America. And the arm that's socking him, it has the
whatchamajigger.
the propaganda logo on it.
Crazy times.
Yeah.
That was awesome a comic book. They just did anything, man. Those were the days.
Captain America. All those old Captain America ones, he's always fighting those guys.
It's World War II. I mean, what else would you be doing?
They need to bring that back. They always have Captain America runs now where it's like modern day. I'm like, you're missing the gold mine of that character. You could have Steve Rogers Captain America in the Avengers, that's modern day.
Yeah.
And then Falcon Captain America, that's modern day. But Steve Rogers Captain America, throw him back in World War II.
There's got to be some adventures.
Oh, there's got to be give him a Tommy gun too. You know what I'm saying?
Captain America would use a gun if he got in a pinch, wouldn't he? He doesn't swear off guns.
No, he doesn't swear off killing either. He was in World War II. What do you think? He's just going around and
going around knocking people out,
man. At that point too, who he's facing, like nobody's gonna be like, really, Captain America. No, everybody's gonna be like, yeah. And maybe that's what we're missing in America, is a sense of, you know what, we gotta kick some butt here.
Kick some butt and take
the hard way. The real way, the American way. We take people off the map. You know what I'm saying? And we need to get that propaganda back going. So yeah, I want to see Captain America back in World War II with a Tommy gun, lighting some people up. Make it rated R if you have to. I don't care.
That'd be good. It'd be some good action. I mean, it could bring the Red Skull back in his prime. He could be cooking up some weird experiments.
That's what I'm saying. Nazi
I did not see that.
bad guy experiments.
Bad guy experiments.
I mean, you know they were doing crazy
They
stuff.
were doing crazy stuff. You go look that up. I mean, there's probably ties to Disclosure Day.
Yeah, and
They had that technology.
You could give Captain America a great array of villains. You know.
Yeah, you could still make up some new villains.
You could. Yeah, I mean, who cares? Give him.
There had to be
He
a Russian
should be-
guy back then. Or
Oh yeah, he should have better villains than what he has. He has a Red Skull, Armanzola.
Crossbones.
Yeah, the Winter Soldier, but that even.
Those are
That
all
was a
like,
once a time. That's like a one-time thing. The Winter Soldier. You can't really keep going back to that.
But yeah, I feel like that's more Marvel movie than the actual comic.
Well, no, that's based off the comic
Yeah, but I don't think he really caught on back in the day. I didn't know who he was.
because he's newer. He is like new. That is like a new story.
All right.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. It's like, yeah, those guys in World War II, and they could look weird or sweet or whatever.
Yeah, you don't know what was going on back then. You could have some zombies. You could have some.
You
weird
could have,
stuff.
yeah.
You don't know what horrors were going on.
That's what I'm saying. There were monkey experiments and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
You could have a
You could have a
crossbreed.
Frankenstein
Yeah, I mean, you could have a crossbreeded human in there.
for sure.
You could. Do
I mean, they probably were. They probably are.
yeah.
Were and are.
You could do like a 3-issue arc. He's on one of those aircraft carrier, and he has to fight Namor because they accidentally went over Atlantis.
Or he follows the Nazi brigade up to Antarctica.
Oh, he finds,
the whole base and goes to the inner Earth.
You know what? I mean, what are
The Hollow Earth.
How is no one thinking about this? Marvel, you can give us a call, man.
Give us a call. Because doesn't Marvel have a hollow Earth world?
I don't think so.
I think there is.
Maybe.
So they could go back to that. I feel like there was something.
A Savage Land, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be incorporated in there.
Yeah.
I always think it would be cool. Because Magneto is famously
Oh yeah.
an Auschwitz, a survivor. What are
So
they
you
called?
get mixed up in Survivor.
And he would be a young Magneto. Captain America frees him, and Magneto's like, let me come with you. Let me pal with you. I have mutant abilities. So Captain America could throw his shield, and then Magneto can control the shield further. And you could have that dynamic. Captain America's trying to save Magneto's soul at a young age. But Captain America goes under the ice. No one's there to look after Magneto, and that's why he falls off and becomes
you
a
could have
villain.
a whole crossover arc there. You know
Yeah.
how they do stuff now.
Yeah,
They just go crazy with it, like that Absolute Batman and the Absolute
Yeah.
titles. It'd be like that.
absolute
Be a whole
Captain
untold
America.
history. Because how could you could
Him and Magneto and
tailor
Wolverine.
made. Tailor made.
Oh man,
Oh,
Wolverine.
man.
He would have so much lore there. And that's the problem with comics. They don't care about their lore enough. They keep it.
They
fresh.
don't. They just
It's
destroy.
whatever, it's whatever they need in the
Yeah,
moment.
it
But
is.
if you really, if you got someone to care about it, it would be sweet to put all that together. Wolverine's in a few issues. Magneto, like I'm talking 10-year-old Magneto, or maybe he's 15. I don't
who
know.
knows how old he is. But yeah,
And
he's obviously dealing with some issues.
Yeah,
Captain America saves him. Maybe he gets captured again. They cross paths again after a while.
yeah.
Wolverine's in there because he's a soldier at it, all the time.
Yeah.
You could do some stuff. There you go. That's $1 million idea for this issue, for this show.
You're welcome again.
Yeah, you're welcome again. Get to work on that, somebody. All right, so this movie we saw tonight,
Obsession.
it's a horror movie, and I gotta tell you, I was horrified at times.
I gotta say this first before we go any further. We as a society have somewhere gone just in the complete wrong direction. I hate to sound like an old timer, but what's wrong with you whippersnappers? Oh, a beautiful brunette's obsessed with you. That's a horror movie nowadays. To me, I'm like, this guy's living the dream, and it's unbelievable we're labeling this as a horror. You know what? Just because the guy's weak and can't handle that action,
I'm gonna
that's
agree
not a
with you.
horror.
I'm gonna
Put
agree.
me in. All of a sudden, it's not a horror movie. It's something romantic. It's something sweet. It's something lively.
Because she's obsessed with him,
And he can just handle it.
He can just be given the right commands. I don't feel like he was given the right...
No, because he's a weak individual.
Put the right touch on his commands to her.
That's what I'm saying. He's a weak individual.
I guess.
That was the problem.
But he was a weak individual from the get-go. I tell you, this movie... This is going to be the second movie in a row that I love.
I don't.
I mean, aside from the fact that you're right, it's total fiction because you're right.
No, a beautiful brunette's obsessed with me. I'm scared. This is so scary. I don't know. Maybe you just can't handle that. You know, sit down, Pipsqueak, and let a big dog get in there. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Aside from the fact that you just ruined the whole movie for me.
Yeah, that's what I was sitting there thinking. I'm like, oh, everybody's at theater is scared, on edge, and I'm like,
but it was scary.
Well, yeah, because he was a weakling. I'm sitting there going...
Put that aside for a minute.
He's living my dream.
The version that they gave us with the weakling guy, this is how it turned out. And in that context...
It is freaky.
It is scary and freaky.
Jokes aside, it is freaky.
But you're probably right. As a society, this is where we've come. The hot brunette wants a piece of you, and we consider it horror.
We're absolutely terrified.
But... You go back to the other supposed great horror movies of the last year or so, Weapons and Longlegs. Never once was I mean, most of the time I was like, all right, what are we doing here?
Yeah, never in Weapons was I...
Even on the edge of my seat,
this one I did have some anxiety from time to time.
I had a lot of anxiety.
And then when she started screaming, I was like, this might be a little much for me.
It was, but at the same time, a couple times was like, you're
unsettled.
Yes, unsettling. Horrified and unsettling.
But yeah, Weapons never. Longlegs, there was times early on where it was like,
there's a little weirdness, creepy, but never really got past just that little weird feeling at times. Like when he was in the store talking with that clerk. Yeah. It was weird and creepy, but not even really dialed up to an 8 or a 9.
No.
It was like, okay, we're gonna build on that and get to the point it's real creepy, but it never did. I didn't feel.
No.
And people in this one were laughing as they did in Weapons, but in Weapons they're laughing at the movie as if it's a comedy.
Yeah.
This, you're laughing like, oh, dang, holy crap, what's going on? You're like unsettled. You're unsettled laughing, you know what I mean? It's uncomfortable laughing, like, oh. But Weapons, you're laughing at the movie because they're making a joke and it's a comedy more than it is a horror.
Agree. Very much agree.
Yeah. So the premise, well, let's not go into that yet. I think the actors...
The girl killed it.
Yeah.
She was turning it on and off.
Yes.
And that was what was disturbing. In those moments where she was like because she's like playing kind of two characters, I guess.
In a way.
And she's like, without spoiling it, she's kind of playing two characters. So when she was snapping in and out of them, those times where she would like fly back and scream, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, this chicken nutso.
Yeah.
But the guy did a good job too. Like you say, he's kind of
measly. He's always like sweating too.
Yeah, but he is. I mean, he comes across that way.
Yeah,
from the get-go, and he gets worse and worse. And they both do a great job. But yeah, the girl kills it, whoever that was. I actually thought she looked a lot like Neve Campbell, a young Neve Campbell. I thought it was going to be Neve Campbell's daughter. I looked it up after the movie. Do you know who that is? It's a girl from Scream. I mean, it looks a lot like her. And that's a good thing. But also, I think the filming and the cinematography, because they used the darkness a lot, like she would recede into the darkness and have her hair over her, like at times when she was being dark. You know what I mean?
Yeah, even like, the one time I really liked it was when she's at the door. Like the first time she comes over.
Yeah.
And her eyes have like a weird glow to them, but she's in complete darkness. But I know what you're saying. In the shadow, she very much like blends in enough where you're like, you take a moment to adjust to seeing her. And that's what made it freaky, because it lets it sit there long enough without being like, look where she is. It lets you go, that's her, right?
Yeah.
And that's what's unsettling, because they're not making a point to look at her. You kind of notice her on your own in the dark.
So those times also, but then there's times where she would be in a doorway, like you're saying, and she would step forward into the light and you could see her, and then she would step back into that shadow and she was just a shadow.
Yeah.
And he did it one time too, where he kind of turned, and I forget what it was, but he was like in the hallway and you kind of got the impression that he's like, all right, screw this, I'm gonna go, he was gonna go evil or something, and he like, I forget where it was, he was leaving her or something, and he went down a dark hallway and he slowly faded away into the dark. And I got the impression that that was like when he was kind of turning as a character to he was going dark too. But then he kind of wimped out again at more throughout.
Yeah.
But I think at that point he was like trying to make a decision. So it was great cinematography. Like you said, it was on a very low budget.
Yeah.
Which is usually when you get that, where you get these creative guys that are really trying to, you know, not their first job per se, but maybe their first big budget thing, and they have no budget, so they have to use what they have, which is the camera and some lighting and the sets, rather than CGI and big sets and super lighted everything.
And somehow it's always these ones that are better. You know what I'm saying? Somehow it always is when you use a real shadow.
Right.
You get a real thing instead of like when it's CGI, enhancing it all, and you lose it. But this one, they couldn't lose it because they couldn't afford to CGI. But it's like,
which is when
that's going to pay off.
When you got to go old school and be creative with your actual tools. And then the other cool, I don't know if it's cool because I don't like it. It was not full 16:9. It was more, I don't know what the ratio was as far as filling the screen.
Yeah, when they cut it off.
Yeah, so it did not fill the whole screen. But I noticed it at the beginning, and I thought maybe it was like a gimmick at the beginning, and then they were gonna, like they do sometimes, and then it fills the whole screen. But it stayed that way the whole way, so I don't know why that is. If it's just a style choice or what.
I think it's just a style choice. I think it makes it. I think it's like a director trying to be like, look, it doesn't just feel old. Doesn't this feel 70s?
Which we talked about. It's kind of time period-less.
Yeah.
Aside from, if it wasn't for the cell phones, you would just think it was 80s, 90s.
Yeah, I like those movies though.
Yeah, I do too.
They didn't it's not relying on the fact that it was the cell phone era. You know what I'm saying? It very much weave that in there to be kind of something that is there, but it's not distracting, and you're not
people
able to
were
place
not on the cell phone like they were at a party.
You're not placing it, oh, it's modern day.
Right. And the sets, like the record store, inside and outside the record store that they worked at, was very nondescript. Could have been the 80s, could have been the 90s, could have been present day.
Yeah.
But you got the feeling, because it's a small mom and pop, that it probably was not total modern day. The other thing I noticed, I'm sure you noticed too, at the beginning, the bar that they went to was Greedo's, or they were going to go to the next bar was Greedo's.
Greedo's, yeah.
And the guy's their teacher in high school, did you catch that name?
No.
Was Mr. Lando.
Oh.
So there's obviously some and then I was kind of waiting for some other ones to pop up throughout the movie, some other Star Wars references, but they didn't. I thought he was going to have the Star Wars lunchbox.
That's what I thought it was.
I did
and then
too.
I was like, oh, I don't know
it
what
wasn't
that
though.
is.
But yeah, it was good, and it had some other good. I don't want to say tropes. They did a thing with the cat. He had a pet cat that died.
Yeah, that for me, I'll admit, there would have to be some repercussions.
He tried to have repercussions.
That's what I'm saying. The first time I was like, this isn't really a spoiler, I guess. The cat dies right at the beginning.
Yeah, she makes him breakfast.
I was like, this is so nice. This is my dream. This guy's living my dream.
And then they pan out, and she made a little shrine with a dead cat body, and it's got candles. And I thought he was going to wake up, that it was a nightmare at that point. But they just kept zooming out, and you could see more of it. And I was dead sure this is going to be like a nightmare that he's going to wake up from, because it was so whack that she just made this shrine with a dead cat.
On the floor.
Yeah. And when they went with it, it was legit.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, that obviously.
She messed up.
But she just doesn't know.
She just doesn't know, I guess, yeah.
You have to help her out.
Yeah. So I don't know. I love this movie. I would even watch it again. You know how you say, I give it a 6. I don't think I'd ever watch it again. I think usually somewhere between 6 and 7 and 8 is where you don't watch it again, would watch it again.
5 is average. That's like... Average is like... if it's average, I can't. I'm not watching it again. 6 is like maybe there's an inkling. If I'm in the right mood. 7, it's kind of like... Yeah, maybe I could watch that again. 8 is when it's like, yeah, I'll watch that again.
I would watch this again. I just would like to watch it again because it is disturbing, but it's entertaining. Like you say, the actors are all likable.
Yeah, even the other like sub relationships, like the one he has with that girl, the other girl. I really bought into that relationship. That they were very close to each other.
Even though they didn't spend a lot of time on it,
they have one moment in the record store that really sells it. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and his buddy. There's like 1 or 2 inconsistencies, and I'll mention them here after we do our spoiler alert. But it doesn't ruin the movie for me. So many horror movies, they, like I always say, they have this great premise, and then they just can't bring it home, and there's just too much. Okay, this is stupid. Why is the guy falling and breaking his ankle in the middle of a hallway? You know, stuff like that. I didn't really get any of that. I was buying this movie.
Yeah, same.
So what do you give it?
I'll give it 7.
7? See, I'm going to give it an 8. I'm always one higher than him, but I think we both enjoyed it.
Yeah, we didn't really know what this was going in either.
Yeah, I didn't know.
It was last minute. We were just kind of like, you want to go see this movie.
Sitting around doing nothing. Let's go to the movies. So, okay, so spoiler alerts. I guess some people might complain, and I read a little bit of article on it about, so what it is, he gets, walks into some weird J.D. Niederhofer store back in the day. What was the name of that? Illusions of Grandeur, little crystal shop. J.D. Niederhofer used to have one in downtown Sandusky, friend of ours. Sort of that kind of shop, if you can remember that kind of shop. It was right down 2 doors down from Gateway Comics, which was a cool shop. That was my old shop. So anyway, it's like a little crystal weird shop, and they have these little will-o-wisp wish things. I don't know what it was. You had to break it. And it was cool that they put a little electronic thing on it. Yeah. You know what I mean? When you first open it, it had like a little electronic song, which was kind of, I thought was cool because it's like, oh, we're going to take this ancient, old, or just stupid kid's toy, you know, like them stupid finger
Chinese
things.
Fingers, yeah.
And put an electronic twist on it, just to have an electronic thing to it. Like you say, so you don't really know what era this is in.
Yeah.
So then that just stops or whatever. But then you break it and make a wish. And he wished that this girl that he had a crush on would be obsessed with him. I don't know what he said. I wish
she would love me more than anyone else in the world.
That's what it was, yeah. And boy, she did.
She committed.
And that's what, like right at the beginning. So he's getting ready to pull away from her house, and all of a sudden she's standing there in the dark on the porch again because she had already went inside. And he's like, oh. And then she comes out and she's like trying to figure out how to get him in the house. And he's like, what are you doing? What is going on?
Yeah.
And then she ends up going home with him and just loves him more than anybody in the world. And gets real clingy and then goes into psychotics.
And it turns out, though, she's possessed.
In a way.
Her soul is like taken somewhere else and replaced by something else. Is kind of what I was getting from it was.
Because they did a couple
she's trapped within her own.
Yeah, she kind of can. So they did there's 2 super cool things in there. So yeah, you don't know what's going on. You think she's just.
Her whole personality has changed.
To be in love this person more than anybody in the world, and she gets obsessed with them, like Fatal Attraction times 10. But then, so she's sleeping one time. And the girl's name's Nikki. The real Nikki's like, oh, just kill me. And she's like, don't wake her up. So she's trapped in there or something.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I feel like it's like a possession almost.
Yeah.
And she's kind of trying, in those times where she does realize what's going on, she freaks out and throws herself back. And that's when it's like moments of, oh, the real Nikki has taken over, is back in control of the body.
For like 1 second.
Yeah, and then at one point she grabs a glass and tries to kill herself. She starts hitting her head.
You think that's what that was?
I think she smashed it and was trying to
because a couple times she tried to kill her or whatever. Now that you mention it, that's probably what that was, right? The real Nikki was trying to do something to get herself?
Oh, yeah, I thought...
Or you think it's just a psycho being psycho?
No, I think it was the real Nikki took over because she jumped back. I think whenever she jumped back like that, it was Nikki having control for a moment and trying to do something. Because remember, she did it right at the beginning, too.
Yeah.
When they first started kissing, he freaked out.
Yeah, that was cool. It was almost like she saw something.
Yeah.
Didn't you take it that way?
Yeah, and she was even saying, oh, I saw something, But I think it was because...
I wish they would have went back to that.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's what I took it as, was the real Nikki was in control and trying to kill herself.
That could be her trying to wake herself up or something.
Yeah,
who knows?
Yeah,
that makes sense, yeah. And then there's a number, of course, on the box of this stupid little toy thing, and he calls the number, and just sounds like some hippie kid.
Yeah, who's tired of the job. And
he's totally tired.
It starts off as
a
joke, I don't know, man, you can't change your wish. I don't know. But then it gets creepy because it's do you just want to talk to her?
Yeah.
Here's Nikki, and it's just the girl screaming on the phone, and he's like, it's Nikki. And the guy never said Nikki's name. He just said, the girl's obsessed with me, the girl's crazy, how do I fix her? And he's just you just want to talk to Nikki? And it's just the girl screaming.
Yeah, it was weird. It was cool.
Yeah.
Super cool. And then, and then things just escalate.
Keep getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, so then he finally eventually goes to the, how about when she duct taped the door? Overnight, she totally duct tapes the door so he can't leave.
Yeah.
Which was kind of cool.
I think the scariest part for me was in the bedroom when she was watching him. I'm just watching you sleep. And that's when she started doing all the weird walking stuff.
Yeah.
And the weird walking stuff, man.
But the room's dark and she's in the corner and you don't see her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The camera just held there.
And you don't know
long
for sure
enough
what you're
for
looking
people
at.
to start to notice her.
Yeah, and then he's looking. He's what are you doing? Where are you at? And she's like, oh, I'm just watching. Then she steps over to the light a little bit. Says, oh, I'm just watching you sleep.
Yeah.
He's don't do that. Come over here. And then she's starts running around. And he's freaking out.
Yeah.
It's good. I mean, it is unsettling at times. And then he goes back to the place to find another one of these things to try and make another wish. Obviously, that would have been my first. I would have done it much earlier in the scenario.
Yeah, this guy's a little bit behind.
But he goes there, and you think, okay, he's going to wish everything back to normal or whatever he's trying to wish, but he can't. You have to break it to make the wish, and he can't break it because he already apparently can only make one wish.
Yeah.
Ever. And these things are only good for one wish anyway. You and your buddies couldn't all make one wish. It's only one time, and you only get one wish ever. So then he gives it to his buddy, and he's trying to tell his buddy, make her normal or whatever. And they're arguing back and forth. And he's like, oh, I wish for $1 million or $1 billion. Money just starts dropping down. And it goes on for a long time.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
And you can see him just going, you dumbass.
Yeah. Yeah, because obviously the guy didn't believe him. Because the whole time they're thinking this Nikki girl just
flipped out.
Hit his psychotic episode.
Yeah. And then, so then he has to go back and deal with her. She's flipping out. She's at the mat. Then, what did that remind you of? There was really only one killing. It's really only one. I mean, I don't know if I would call it gore. She messes herself up a couple times, and she's all messed up a couple times.
Yeah. Sort
of in a gory way.
Yeah, but she beat somebody's face in with a brick.
What did that remind you of?
What was that? Terrifier 2, was it?
Oh, well. Yeah, the face after she's sitting up in the car, but when she's just going like that, I just thought that was a Tarantino steal from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, he's just banging her.
Yeah, because she was just going, and she just kept going. Because there was a point where you thought it was done because they flashed to him and you figure that's still going to be it. But then they go back and she just keeps going. And then they showed their whole horror budget and it looked like about an '80s mid-level horror dummy sitting there with an eye.
Yeah.
But it was cool because it was that, you know what I mean, it was the right aesthetic for
And
it.
she had every right to do that.
She did.
Because
she told him that it was his fault.
Yeah, and you do have to be worried about those type of people in a relationship.
Which
it turns out, I mean, even the ugly ones, it turns out even the ugly ones you have to worry about. So she had every right.
I don't know what we're saying.
I'm saying
here.
like, oh, that girl was hitting on her man, clearly. And she's not bad looking, and they obviously have a history. And I'm saying out there, you have to even worry about the ugly ones getting into the business.
Well, that guy's got to know better. That lady's obviously unhinged.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't be putting that girl in jeopardy.
That's what I'm saying. It is his fault, and he has to know better to not. But I'm saying even the Nikki girl had every right to do that. Because you have to be worried about your partner.
Yeah.
Because again, even the ugly ones can do that.
You never know what's going to happen.
Trust me, even the ugly ones. So you have to be worried. You have to take a brick to some people's faces.
All right, we're not condoning violence or anything.
We're not condoning violence or anything.
So
just be wary. Even the ugly ones can do it.
So then, if you're watching, the ending was super cool too. Like there was original scenes in there. That's what I mean. I think this is a solid horror movie because there's some originality. What I was going to say was they were talking to the guy and they were like, "What's the lore? Or what's the story behind the willow, whatever that thing was?" And he goes, I don't know. It's there. It's what it is. Kind of like in Big, that Zoltan that they makes the wish on. Puts a quarter in and makes the wish. Yeah, it's a wish machine. Oh well. You know what I mean? Apparently that's a thing in
yeah, and I'm
universe.
fine with that. I don't need an explanation for it.
I don't need the prequel to understand how the will-o-wisp came around, and I don't need to know the curse of it and see what happened in 1942.
Because even then it's like kind of put off as this thing that is like a generic toy.
Right.
So my idea is like maybe some of them work, maybe some of them don't. Because there's the discourse on it of people saying, no, they don't. So it's just like maybe one box works, maybe 1 in every 10 boxes works.
Who knows? Yeah, who knows? Or maybe it has something to do with your own beliefs of it or whatever. Who knows? Yeah. But yeah, I don't need a prequel, so please don't make the prequel and ruin the current setup. So then at the end, he was gonna throughout there. Actually, when he was on the phone with the guy too, the guy's like, "Well, you could kill yourself, or when you die, the wish will be gone and she'll be free." So he always has this option in the back of his mind: if he kills himself, then she'll be free. So it just gets to an unbearable point. He goes in the bathroom. He can't shoot himself with the gun, and he takes the pills that the cat overdosed on. So he is in the process of dying, and you hear the thing crack out there because he went and got another one, and he was going to try and get her to wish for it as a crazy person, but the crazy person wouldn't wish for it. So the crazy person cracks it out there, you hear it crack, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh. So she wished for him to be obsessed with her, which is what happens. So he goes out and he's obsessed with her, and they're making up all of a sudden, but then he dies because he took the pills. And so then she picks up the gun because she's obsessed with him, and he's dead now, or he's dying, his heartbeat and whatever hasn't, so she's getting ready to shoot herself, but at that point, he must be clinically dead or magically dead or whatever, so she snaps out of it because he's dead, so she's free of the curse right before she shoots herself. And then obviously she's like, flips out because she's in a pickle now.
Yeah, I thought maybe they were going to leave it an ending of they're both obsessed with each other. And part 2 would have been some weird Bonnie and Clyde story.
Yeah, it would have been a weird Bonnie and Clyde story.
But I like that the guy did.
Yeah, because you kind of went through 2 or 3 different moves there in the last couple minutes. I thought it was a great movie. Original writing, original story. And didn't have to over-explain everything.
No, it was perfectly explained.
Yes, by
it
not
really
explaining
was.
it.
You know what I'm saying? There was even like moments. I mean, like the phone call. It gives it its own lore. It gives it its own. Yeah, there is some worker.
There's something going on.
Yeah, and they have their souls available right on the phone. They know every. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
some lore. There's enough lore there where it's intriguing, but it's not. It doesn't feel
kind of like the
bogging down.
like the Clone Wars. Just mention it and move on.
Yeah.
I don't need to see the Clone Wars unless you're gonna have Darth Vader killing a bunch of people.
Yeah, that would have been sweet.
Or that, I guess that wasn't the Clone Wars that were implied. Darth Vader hunted down and killed the last of the Jedis. Let's leave it at that. Don't give us the movie where he kills a bunch of kids.
Yeah. And then
You just ruined my childhood with that.
yeah, he does that, and then it's like,
Speaking of, people probably were suspecting or expecting us to do
oh, Mandalorian Grogu.
Mandalorian Grogu.
Guys, we don't waste our time on puppy stuff.
We
We're
drew
big
the
dogs.
line. We drew the line. Someone has to stand up for.
Yeah, what is everybody really going to be shocked? And the reviews are out there. It's terrible. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't need to see it. I'm going to take your word for it because I'm falling down on that side to begin with. I mean, maybe not terrible, but it's just not for me anymore. Star Wars is not a franchise for me anymore. And I'm okay with that. I have the original trilogy. I will accept that the prequels happened. I will not enjoy them, but I will not erase them from my memory. But the
first
sequels...
Episode 7 was sweet.
Episode 7, I still do like that. Even though it was derivative and a repeat, I did like it. I think it was a good setup. There's a lot wrong with it, but it was visually cool. It had a lot of cool things. But after that, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm done with it. So until maybe you take a 10-year layoff and you come up with something good. I hear that they are saying that they're going to make the sequels
Non-existent.
act like they didn't happen. Which best Star Wars move you've made since 2000.
Yeah.
If that's true.
That would be interesting, but it's already too late too.
Yeah, it's already too late.
All those people, you can't bring back.
Yeah, you
Han
can't
and Leia anymore.
You can't. Right, you blew it. You had a
something
chance
there, man.
Unless
you really had something.
Unless you recast everybody, which would be tough, and just went with like Heir to the Empire, like right after Jedi or something. You know what I mean?
Or yeah, even 10 years after Jedi. So
Right.
the recast has enough time where it's like, look at they're older. Because there's that Sebastian Stan, you know him, who plays Bucky. People are going, this looks enough like Mark Hamill. If you look at them, if you put them up side by side, you get them, and it does. It really does look like Mark Hamill, where you're like, oh, it could be
good enough to pass.
Yeah, especially if it's...
And he's a likable actor.
Yeah, especially if it's a good Star Wars movie, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right. If it's a good Star Wars movie, you could get somebody that doesn't even look like
Harrison Ford would be the tough one, per usual.
I think Chris Pratt. I think he could.
He could pull it off.
He
he doesn't look like him, but I think he has the attitude.
I think he has the attitude and some mannerisms, and I don't know that he looks like him one for one, but I think he looks like him enough, and I think he could act like him enough.
Yeah.
I would be okay with it, but there's probably an unknown guy out there that might be able to pass.
Yeah, and you would also need to know. I think Sebastian Stan is older, and Han Solo's older than Luke, so I think you would have to go in order to get
older. Yeah, so you're probably right. It couldn't be Chris Pratt. I think the tough one would be Princess Leia, but there's probably a young girl. You know who could, now that I even mention it, but she's probably too young yet still, because you're saying it has to be older. Is that girl from Once Upon a Time on Hollywood and The Substance?
Oh, Margaret Qualley.
Yeah,
she could.
I think she could pull it off.
But yeah, I think she's just too young.
But
still.
too young, yeah.
Especially, yeah. Because obviously Luke would be the guy you center around with Sebastian Stan.
Do you think we should make a Star Wars movie, and have Luke be the center of it?
But you know what I mean? That's the actor you have to focus on.
That's a wild concept.
That's the actor you have to focus on.
No, I'm not making fun of you. I'm making fun of the idiots that gave us Episode 7, even though it's the best of those ones, where Luke Skywalker wasn't even in it. And then wasn't even used in the other two.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? I don't think you go, where's Harrison Ford in this? Where's, what's her name? Leia's name?
Leia.
Well, yeah. What actor we get for them? You get Luke Skywalker's actor first, and then go based around him.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because obviously the movie should be Luke Skywalker. going on.
Crazy concept. Let's really just go out left field. But, I'm going to go back to what we talked about last episode. But see, I feel like those characters are too beloved. It would be weird. I was going to go, you could go strict AI with them. But I feel like they're too well known. You're going to know that Harrison Ford is fake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even like when they de-aged him for the Indiana Jones, it was off.
It was weird.
And you were de-aging the actual guy.
Yeah. Yeah, they can't do AI. I still think people would not buy into it in general. And people wouldn't buy into this.
Yeah, because I'm going to smell...
I can't have... Like, they wouldn't buy into Sebastian Stan being Luke Skywalker.
You don't think?
I think maybe they would. I think Harrison Ford is the problem. You would have to get him.
He's the toughest one.
Yeah.
I mean, Han Solo's such an iconic character, and just the way he is.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough to duplicate. But I would be up for that, but they would have to get it right. Now, I would have some leeway. You know what I mean? Because it's not going to be perfect. It would all hinge on the story. If the story's good, people are going to buy it. If you give us a junk story with junk guys that aren't close enough, it's a double whammy.
Yeah.
It'd be a tough. But I think also the further you go along, another 5 years, another 10 years.
Yeah, it really won't matter then.
It won't matter.
But I think at that point, even the guys we mentioned would be completely aged out. But you would find new people.
Yeah. Yeah, there's probably people out there. Like they got that guy that I think a lot of people liked Han Solo in that Solo movie.
Yeah, he was pretty close. You know what? He was the first person, that was like the first time anybody even
tried it.
Yeah, to do something like that. So he got a lot of crap.
Yeah.
But I think you go back and watch it, or even just look at him. Yeah, he has the look.
I just didn't care for the movie.
Yeah, he didn't have the credit of... You're right, that movie didn't do him any justice.
It's the same problem with the sequels. That movie negated Han Solo's character arc in the original trilogy. Because he came to that movie and you thought he was a rogue and a scoundrel that just did whatever he wanted, and here he was at the end of Star Wars. He came back to save his friends. He made friends with these people. He partnered with people for the first time in his life, and first time in his life that he did anything like that. That's the impression you get. That's his story arc, and he continues that throughout the three. But he does the exact same story arc in the Solo movie. So how can that be his story arc?
Yeah.
In this, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it should have been him being a rogue and a scoundrel.
Yeah.
And that's a problem with the sequels, is that you put everybody back to square one. You're basically retelling the same story with the same arcs and that whatever, and that's why you got to have a story to tell. And if you ever read Heir to the Empire, it's because there's remnants of the Empire left.
Yeah.
You blew up the Death Star, and you blew up Darth Vader, and you blew up the Emperor. Apparently not. This is stupid.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
But yeah, I get what,
But there's still guys out there. There's still
always that guy, the blue guy.
Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Yeah, but they've even since ruined that era because they just overdid that whole era trying to fix stuff. Like the whole Mandalorian stuff. It's all right after Return of the Jedi. All the Ahsoka TV series stuff. All after Return of the Jedi. Like everything is
at that era.
5 years after Return of the Jedi. And now it's like you left nothing for anything like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's never... I'll say about Star Wars what I say about Marvel Universe. There's never going to be another Star Wars where it was a trilogy like that. That was the first trilogy that was like a continuous story. It was the first trilogy.
Yeah. We'll give it that.
Yeah, I'm going to give it that because I think that's a historically accurate fact. And it was science fiction like you'd never seen before, special effects like you'd never seen before, characters like you'd never seen before. You're never going to have that same type of thing again where you were anticipating for 2 years, waiting to see what happened next for Jedi. Marvel Universe, you're never ever in the history of the world going to have a 20 movie story that people are going to want to see, that people are building up expectation for? Because it was part of the appeal was that you'd never seen anything like it. Now they keep trying to do it, and it was happening without you really knowing.
Yeah, they let it be in the background.
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah.
They threw out an Iron Man movie. Let's see what, they weren't making an Iron Man movie to make a 20 movie or to make a universe. They were just like, we have Iron Man. Is what we can maybe make money off of. Give it a try. And then at the end, they did have Nick Fury show up and be like, well, I'm going to do the Avengers. But the next movie wasn't the Avengers. It was, here's Thor. Or here's Hulk, here's Iron Man 2, here's Thor. And
it happened so organically. Maybe they had it all planned out. I don't know. But you didn't know it. Yeah. Like now, hey, Batman's coming out. He's part of the whole DC combined universe, and this is going to happen, then this is going to happen, then this is going to happen. Well, one of the movies sucks, and none of that happens.
But yeah, the other thing is, each movie feels like that. Like they're trying to build the universe to the point you're like, okay, this is exhausting, and this is not. It's not natural.
It's not natural.
It's just everything's crammed in there. Like what was it, Batman v Superman? Oh, here's every superhero. We're going to watch them on a TV monitor because we want the Justice League to... We want Superman, Batman v Superman, then Justice League. What?
Right, so, yeah.
First of all, why is Batman getting introduced in a Batman v Superman movie?
Yeah.
And why is your second movie Batman v Superman? You know what I'm saying? Superman, and then we went right into... We don't even know who Batman is. I mean, we know who he is, but it's like
not in that universe. Yeah,
like Captain America: Civil War was like midway through. It's 50, let's say movie 15. I don't know if that's true.
Right.
But you had enough history there between Captain America and Iron Man alone.
Right. So when those guys started fighting,
you felt that you're like,
whoa,
these guys better make up somehow.
Yeah, what's going to happen? Batman versus Superman, you didn't have any of that. You're like, why are they even fighting again? What's going on here? And, their mothers are the same name, so now they're friends again.
And that's the other thing about Civil War. They do end that with separation. They don't reconcile, and they let it be, and that plays into the story. Like Batman v Superman.
Right, and you're like, how... Oh, dang. You left that movie because what's-his-face hits the ground, and Iron Man's now even more pissed, and...
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You go in... I just rewatched it, and it's like... The airport battle, you thought that was the Civil War. Because Iron Man turns around and goes, I'm going to go help Captain America. Because he's right, there is these 6 super soldiers that need to be stopped. And you're like, okay, that's where this conclusion is going, is Captain America and Iron Man and Bucky teaming up to stop 6 super soldiers before they get out. And they get there and the super soldiers are all dead already. They got shot by Zemo.
Okay,
and you're like, what's about to happen here? Because obviously... Captain America, Iron Man, and Bucky to stop Zemo, who's just a guy like that, seems a little bit overkill. And then the footage of Bucky killing Iron Man's parents shows up, and you're like, how are we going to play this out,
Yeah.
Are they just going to have a little punch-up and then, well, whatever, it's okay? No, they beat each other up, and then they leave. Like, Iron Man remains, Captain America flees. Like, he's like, I'm done with you.
Yeah. And they're... The only thing that brings them back...
Is that... Well, they don't even get back together in Infinity War, either. They let it marinate. Because they're
and you feel that they don't like each other because they're always looking at each other like, when one said, that they're uncomfortable around each other. So obviously the problem that DC had was they tried to take 6 or 7 literal years in our time in real life and 6 or 7 movies and tried to smush them down into Batman versus Superman, and it didn't work.
Yeah, and then your next one was Justice League, and again it's like, why do I care about these people coming together?
And why are they even coming together? Did I even see Justice League?
Neither one of us has seen Justice League. But you know what I'm saying? Like in the Avengers, it's like, it's cool that they're coming together because each one had their own movie. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We know who Iron Man is. We know who Hulk is.
And they were around the edges of each other. Like probably they guest starred in each other's movies.
There was those hints, like the post-credit scenes, Thor's hammer. And everybody's like, oh man.
Yeah.
We can't wait to see Thor.
Yeah, that's
Captain America's shield or whatever. And then it's like, even in the Avengers, it's not we're together right away. They go around recruiting each other, and there isn't instant unification. Like again, Civil War is set up in Avengers. Like Captain America and Iron Man don't like each other. You know what I'm saying? They are at odds ends because their characters are different. But Marvel was patient enough to just let that play out to get to Civil War.
Yeah, so you're never going to see. You're never going to see
You're
that
not
stuff
getting
again.
that again because no one's patient. No studio is patient enough to get there, and they don't understand either.
They don't.
When the movie doesn't make $1 billion, they're like, "Should we just stop making these?" Well, because you just start. Like Superman is the big thing about Superman.
That's the other thing. Okay, yeah,
you gotta let it go.
It only made
$1 billion.
It only made $50 million. That's not enough for you to make another one.
Yeah.
I mean, how much money did it take? It made $50 million, so you got your money back, and then you have an extra $50 million.
$500 million is what you mean.
Whatever.
But I get what you're saying. It's like,
I mean, there's got to be some
patient.
art. There's got to be like, we're doing this because we believe in it. We want to. Everybody's passionate about it. So as long as it makes something, we're good.
Yeah, and the other thing is you just overinflate the budgets with these movies as well. And so it's like you already are in an uphill battle because, well, the budget for it is $300 million. Okay, well, why don't we bring that down to $150 million?
Which you probably could by getting a cameraman, like in this movie, getting some people and doing some creative things rather than just, let's not be creative, let's just spend another $50,000 to make whatever.
Or if you are going to do that, then realize what you're putting your money on is not this movie, it's what is going to come from this movie 20 years down the line when we have a whole universe. Because we actually have Superman and Batman.
Yeah, how do you screw that
I mean,
up?
guys.
And you had Gal Gadot, whatever her name is, as Wonder Woman.
I'm saying in general, though, like these people, like
any
right
woman
now,
as Wonder Woman. Any woman you're probably going to get as Wonder Woman. How do you blow that?
But you know what I mean? I'm saying what they're doing right now, people are complaining about Superman not making enough money. The newest Superman.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's like, guys, give it a minute. You have Batman. But that is going to be, you want to make money, okay.
Batman in incarnation. We've talked about it ad nauseum. Yeah. But like you're saying, it didn't make enough money. What is enough money?
Yeah.
We're talking about made money. So when you say it made $50 million, that's, you paid everybody, you paid all your junk, and then you have a pile of $50 million.
Yeah.
What are you trying to do? Okay, just take this money that you made back, that you spent, and let's just use that to make another one that makes $50 million. Now you have $50 million pile and another $50 million. What does it take?
Yeah.
How much do you have to make?
Yeah, and again, if you're patient, you get to the movie that makes $1 billion. You get to your Avengers Endgame. But you're not going to get there right away, and they don't realize
because their motives are, like you're saying,
it's strictly
about
money.
Making X dollars. Well, what happened to making a movie? What happened to
And again, you want to make $1 billion, fine. Make a Superman movie, make a Batman movie.
These piles of $50 million eventually add up to.
But then make a world's finest movie. There you go. I just solved it. You got to make 2 movies to get there, though, or maybe not. Maybe you could. In fact, it's Superman, it's Batman. You know what? You could make a world's finest movie.
For sure.
Just start your universe, and you probably would make $1 billion. We have Batman and Superman in one movie.
You keep making stupid movies that don't work. Maybe listen to not only us. I mean, I read stuff and I'm like, on Facebook posts, they should just do this. What? And I'm like, that's 10 times better than what they're making.
Yeah.
From any Tom, Dick, and Harry out there.
Yeah, you should just have interns scrolling Facebook, and then at the end of the week, they should all present 15 ideas they got.
I think that's the problem, though. They take those 15 ideas and try and mash them into one idea, and it doesn't work as any of the ideas. When you could have just took one of the ideas that would be good. I don't know how they get to where they
Or you could take all 15 ideas and make 15 different projects.
That each makes $50 million.
Yeah.
So now you have 15 times $50 million that you've made. Is that not enough?
Yeah. Who knows?
Who knows?
Anyways, that was a review for Obsession.
Anyway, that was our review for Obsession. And we got to that because we did not go see Grogu.
Yeah, Mandalorian.
And we will not. I'm not gonna. I mean, I don't have no desire. I was never a fan of the series, so I'm good. Unless people start saying it's great, but I don't think that's happening.
I don't think that's happening either.
All right, thanks for watching. Let us know what you think. Let us know if we should do a Backrooms, a Comic Palooza, or wait for Disclosure Day for episode 50 of the Popcast. Thanks for watching. See you next time. This show's gold. People just kind of watch it. They could make a mint off of us.